Today's episode of the Just Keep Swimming podcast is brought to you by Audible. Audible is an online audiobook and podcast service offering over 10,000 books and the ability to listen to your favorite podcasts, including the Just Keep Swimming podcast. I personally use Audible all the time and suggest you take a listen to Intentional Living by John C. Maxwell. In this book, Mr. Maxwell shares his story on how he was able to live a noble and purposeful life and gives you tips and tricks so you can do the same. So please start your 30-day free trial now at www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast, all lowercase. Again, that is www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast. And if you have any more questions or concerns for the Just Keep Swimming podcast, you're always welcome to reach out to us on Facebook or at Instagram at justkeepswimming_podcast, or you can email us at jkspodcast702@gmail.com. And with that out the way, let's dive into it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. This is your friend, your boy, your host, Mr. Adrian Jackson, and we back at it again with another great episode for you. And you already know who's with me. It's the man, the myth, the legend. It's Mr. 1-3, dropping Haas beats for the city. He's going to jump in on part 2 of this message, so please make sure you guys look out for that. For today, ladies and gentlemen, we had a cool message for you guys, and the topic for this message is take responsibility. So over the last few weeks, I've been having some instances, definitely dealing with some students and some kids on the football field that kind of really been making me think. And I kind of think that, at first I was thinking it was attitude will be the issue, but I think the main issue that the kids are having is they're not taking responsibility for their life and understanding that their actions dictate where their life is going to go, and they need to learn to be responsible for their actions. So a prime example I had is recently I'm planning a field trip for one of my schools, and there's this student that she wants to go on the field trip, of course. Like, everybody wants to go on a field trip. Everybody wants a day out of class, of course. No matter what it is, they want a day out of class. So she wants to go on a field trip. She's turning her pack and everything. And I had her on the list, but then I was told by multiple counselors and teachers that this student does not need to go. This student needs to focus on graduating, and they need to, not really have a day out of school. They need to focus on their studies. So I said, okay, understandable. And with that, I took the student off the list and replaced her with another student and kept moving on. I can't do nothing past that. Definitely being that you have multiple people saying the same instances about this student. I need to trust them because they know more than I do, being that I'm new in this role. So the other day, the student came to me and she was upset when she found out that she was taken off the field trip. And, I try to tell her, like, hey, I heard that you need to focus on graduating, so that's the most important thing. If you can get your grades up for this quarter, then maybe we can get you on the field trip next year. But, right now, though, you need to focus on graduating. And instead of the student saying, okay, I got you, Mr. AJ, I appreciate you for telling me the truth, the student started to try to figure out, well, who said I couldn't go? Who did this? Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to call my mama, get this settled out. I'm going to get on this field trip. Whoop, whoop. And she started, regulating. And I'm sitting here first and foremost, not going on the field trip is all your responsibility. One, I decide who goes on my field trip or not. And you with this attitude right now is not going to let you go on this field trip. But 2, you dictated to not go on the field trip, not nobody else. They only made you not go on the field trip based off of your past, based off of your actions, based off of what you need to do. And it's your goal right now to take responsibility for what you've done and what you put yourself through. None of us took those classes for you. None of us been ditching. None of us has told you, nah, you don't need to go to class, go walk the hallways when you should be learning. And none of us told you, oh, it's okay to have this 0 point something GPA. None of us told you that. We all all tell you need to go to class, but you don't want to take responsibility for what you need to do. And now that the consequences have came back to bite you in the butt, you're not even willing to accept the consequences and still take responsibility. You go straight to, I'm about to get somebody in trouble. I'm about to call my mama up here to raise hell. I'm about to do whatever I can because it's not my responsibility. I should be on the field trip. But no, that is not the case. The case is you didn't do what you need to do, and you not doing what you need to do has hindered you in the future in a way that you didn't expect it to happen. But you know what? A lot of things come back around, and if you don't take the responsibility right now, who knows how it's going to come back and bite you in the butt. So, that right there was one interesting situation. Another one I have on the football field is I had this amazing athlete. He is so good. He's fast. He's a great defender. He's a great running back. He's a great athlete. But he has a really bad attitude. Like, if anything happens on the field that upsets him, such as he's running the ball and he trips at some point and he feels that somebody tripped him, he's going to get up and try to fight that kid. For some odd reason, I have no idea why, but he gets up to try to fight the kid. And me being the dope that I am and running the field, my responsibility is snatch that kid off the field. You can't play until I decide that you can play again. So that's what I do. When the kid gets an attitude, I pull him to the side and I have to let them know, like, yo, bro, you have to take responsibility for your attitude. Like, you getting mad and feeling like somebody did you wrong is all it's doing is hindering you and hurting you, because look at what's happening right now. While you're on the sideline talking to me, look to the field. They're still playing. Nothing has happened to them. This game has not stopped because you got upset. You know what I'm saying? Because you got out of character. The only thing that stopped is your game time, your playing time, your fun, because you're not taking responsibility for your actions, and you need to start taking responsibility and controlling your anger. I understand, you feel like somebody did you wrong and you want to get back at them, but right now, this is not the time or place for that, because we are in an educational environment. We are in a developmental sport. We're playing football. If you can't understand that football is a contact sport and that people are going to push you around, you shouldn't be playing this sport. This is not a sport for you, because this is a rough sport. You have to have the mindset to shake it off and focus on the next play. You have to take responsibility for your mindset as you're playing the game. Every single play. You can't go out there and say, I'm not going to take responsibility for myself this play. I'm going to blame somebody else, because what that does is get you taken out the game. Whether I'm the coach, whether I'm the referee, whatever the case may be, you not take responsibility for your actions is only hindering you. It doesn't affect me. At the end of the day, I told them I get paid. I'm out here for the next few hours, whether you play or not, bro. All these kids are going to play this game whether you play or not. Your team is going to keep rolling whether you play or not. And the only thing that's hindering you from deciding whether you play or not is how you play and the attitude that you show when you're playing. There was one instance where the boy didn't want to shake hands after the game to the other team, and I had to pull him to the side again. It's like, bro, what are you doing? Well, blah, 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 blah. But the game is over. Why are you still upset for something that happened in first quarter? You're upset for nothing right now, and you being upset right now and having this attitude and not taking responsibility for this attitude is going to make it so you don't play next week. You know what I'm saying? So this little small moment of you not taking responsibility for yourself is going to hinder you in the long run. And we need to learn to start taking the responsibilities right now, so we don't have to worry about those hindrances in the long run. And one of my mindset is we have to focus on character. Our character really determines on where we're going with life. And if their character is, when I get mad, I'm gonna pop off, I'm gonna scream, I'm gonna point fingers, people are gonna want to deal with somebody with a character like you. No matter what it is, shape or form, no matter how much you expect them to love you. Even your own parents at some point will be like, you know what? As a child, I understood, but as an adult, I can't keep dealing with this type of person. This person needs to take responsibility for their actions. I know a while ago, I told you guys about the show Intervention that I was watching on the free channel. And that's one thing that the show Intervention always tries to get the person to understand is you have to take responsibility for your actions. Your family is telling you that we love you, we want to help you, but we will no longer keep giving you money to buy drugs, keep being a support system for you to keep hindering yourself. We love you too much to keep being that person. And now it's time for you to take responsibility for your life, to get your money together, get your attitude together, to get yourself together. And literally the family gives them an ultimatum to say, if you don't take responsibility for yourself, we have to step back because we can't keep taking responsibility for you. we going to take responsibility for ourselves. We have other kids to worry about. We have other brothers and sisters. We can't keep worrying and take responsibility for you. I can't keep being the hindrance that's going to hold you back. If I feel like I'm holding you back, I'm going to step away and let you have the responsibility, because at the end of the day, it is your life. I can't live your life. I can't walk the walk. I can't talk your talk. I can't feed you. I can't make you swallow. Can't make you drink. Like I said, I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make him drink it. It's the horse's responsibility to bend over and drink that water. If the horse doesn't want to drink the water, the horse is going to die of dehydration, unfortunately, until the horse decides to take responsibility. But you don't see things like that in the animal kingdom. The animals understand that if I want to eat, I need to go eat. If I need to do something, it's my responsibility to make this happen. But it seems like a lot of us humans, we like to point fingers and put blame and say that it's this person's fault, it's that person's fault, A, B, C. No, that is not the case. It's all you. If you guys listened to the podcast before, one of my favorite life lessons is, or my favorite quotes, I can only control my thoughts, my actions, my reactions. I can't control anything else. I can control how people feel, what they think, what they see, what they're going to say, but I can't control how I'm going to come back with that. You understand? So we have to learn to control ourselves, take responsibility for our thoughts, actions, and reactions. And I promise you, if you can start off by taking responsibility in those areas, controlling your life is going to be so much easier, because you're going to start to realize that this person not showing up for me is not going to break me, because at the end of the day, I control how I feel in this situation, and I'm going to keep going on no matter what's going to happen. This teacher is quote unquote not liking me. I can't let that break me. That's that teacher's choice not to like me. Only thing I can do is, one, keep doing the best I can, show why I should be likable, and then hope at some point the teacher would turn his head and be like, you know what, this person is actually good. I had a negative mindset toward them. And that would be the teacher's job, to take responsibility for their thoughts, their actions, their reactions. But until you start to do that, you can't expect other people to do that. So my challenge for you guys this week is to start to step back and start to really say, what is truly in my control? What is truly my responsibility? I can't get mad for being hungry when I didn't make myself something to eat. You know what I'm saying? I can't get mad at somebody else for not cooking for me when I have the ability to get up, cook, feed myself, clothe myself, use a bathroom. I can't get mad that I peed on myself because somebody want to walk me to the bathroom. It is your body. We're all potty trained. I'm hoping we're potty trained. If not, we have diapers in the world. But there's ways that you can make it so you don't have to pee yourself if you take the responsibility. But if you piss on yourself and say it's Johnny's fault, everybody's going to look at you crazy, because at the end of the day, Johnny can't make you pee on yourself. Only you can do that. Did you get up and go look for a bathroom? Did you go find you a tree to go pee on? Did you drink too much water before that? The night before, when you know you shouldn't drink water before you go to bed? Whatever the case is, let's take responsibility for where we are right now and take responsibility for where we're going. Once we start to take true responsibility for where we're going, life is going to be so much smoother. Let's stop playing the blame game and let's start just loving ourselves and taking accountability for who we are and where we're going with life. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that message so far. Mr. 13 is about to come and jump in and share some more insight as well, because he's way more knowledgeable than I am and experienced so much. So I want him to share. So I'll bring it to the microphone. We got Mr. 13.
Yo, it's Mr. 13 back on the mic. I really liked what Adrian said in the first part of this message, taking responsibility. There's a lot of benefits from taking responsibility as opposed to not taking responsibility. And to kind of go over what, the examples that he was giving, when you're not taking responsibility, you tend to give adverse reactions. And in the case of that one student that was trying to get on the field trip, the more you do not take responsibility, the more it hinders you later on in life. And the more you try to do your best to still stay out of responsibility, which can dig you in a deeper hole. Like, why are you throwing a fit and trying to get your mom up here only to have her find out that you haven't been going to school, and that's you're gonna go back home and deal with some more heinous consequences just because you aren't doing what you need to be doing. And that is also something I've kind of experienced in my past too, from, not doing homework. And me not doing homework kind of led me to continue to find better ways to not do homework, which only led me to more consequences later on in life. And I think after dealing with the consequences of avoiding responsibility to keep myself healthy and doing what I need to do, once I figured out that it's easy just to do it right the first time and take responsibility for the actions that I need to perform on, it made life a lot more smoother. Something my mom always said, and it was funny because we were talking to my niece about this, why not just do it right the first time? Why not just do what you need to do so you don't have to struggle with it later? Why do you have to make up for things? Sometimes in life, you're not dealt the best hand, but when you are dealt a hand to make you able to do something, why not just do it in the first place? That is your responsibility, so you can avoid consequences or hard conversations moving forward. I also have a student, and then this is a little bit of an interesting case, as we're currently working on it, and I won't be too explicit on what's going on just because of HIPAA stuff. But I have a student that just didn't do what he needed to do to get his needs met, and tried to get other people to do it for them, which came back because me and the other advisor don't play that. If you want something, go ahead and ask for it, because that's the simplest way to do it, and that's going to get you further in life. Closed mouth don't get fed. So why not just take the responsibility for your needs and just do them in the first place? That just makes the world a lot more easier, and then that can start to get you on the right track moving forward. This is something that I just wanted to relate, because once you do start taking responsibility for your actions, and not even just the negative ones, even the positive ones, you feel much more rewarded at the end game. If I take responsibility in my school and make sure I do my homework every week and make sure I get these high grades, then once I graduate, that diploma is going to feel a whole lot better than if I just didn't do it. Or I was doing it half-assed, or doing it in some not genuine way. I feel like I won't earn it, and then that could again lead to potential consequences later, because what if I actually need that information that I was skipping out on? And that's something that I should own up to and take responsibility for, and one of those ways is making it up. But again, going back to the first point I was trying to make, why not just do it right the first time and do what you need to do to make sure you are successful? And that's something I just want to pose in everybody's minds, is take responsibility for your actions. We all make mistakes. Own up to it and make it right. And before you even make a mistake, if it's possible, just do it right the first time. You know what you need to do. You know that little voice that's inside of you that's telling you to do right. Just do right. It's hard, sometimes, but just do right to avoid the pain and things that may come later on in life. So with that being said, I hope everybody enjoyed the message. Feel free to contact us through our social media and all of our other pages. And with that, I hope you have a splendid morning, a wonderful afternoon, and a graceful evening. And remember to just keep swimming.